Hello everybody, this is Professor Joya Curlin and I am recording a screencast for you guys which I hope will explain a little bit more about possessive adjectives in Spanish. I'm recording this screencast because when I was correcting your Unit 6 biweekly assignments, I noticed that there seems to be a little bit of confusion about which possessive adjectives can potentially be used for which nouns. As just about everything else in Spanish goes, we always have to bear in mind not only who something belongs to, but the gender of the item possessed as well as the number of the item possessed. So let's take a look at some of these examples. You guys will notice that I have put some examples of possessive adjectives in English as well as in Spanish. So let's talk about the English examples first. I'm going to highlight this. My book. That's easy enough. In English also, if the books that we're possessing are plural, we still say my books. So the my works for a singular and for a plural item that we're possessing. We would say your grandmother. And we would also say your grandmothers, plural. So there we have an example of singular and plural items possessed, but our possessive adjective does not change in English. All right, now if we have our cousin, that's great, it works fine. And also our cousins, plural, works fine as well. Now let's talk about Spanish. I'm going to highlight the Spanish section now. All right. Mi libro, one book that I possess. What if, for example, it's more than one book, plural, libros? Then the possessive adjective must change to match the number of the books I possess. We must say mis libros, plural. Your grandmother, tu abuela. Now you'll notice here that you can say your in different ways in Spanish, right? You could be informal and singular, tu abuela. Formal and singular, su abuela. And guess what? This works with plural as well, formal and plural. The abuela could belong to ustedes, and we would still say su abuela. Or we could be speaking informally to a group, plural, vuestra abuela. Now, if these are plural, abuelas, we have to change the possessive adjective to the plural form. Tus abuelas. Sus abuelas. Vuestras abuelas. Okay, singular and plural makes a really big difference in Spanish. Now let's move over to the last example under Spanish, nuestro primo. All right, now, if the primos are plural, not singular, we of course need to change nuestro to nuestros, plural, to match primos, which are cousins, but what if we have female cousins instead of male cousins? So let's pick something bright. How about green? Primas. Feminine and plural. Our possessive adjective now must change to nuestras primas. To match the feminine and plural noun that we possess. Okay, let us go ahead and write out our subject pronouns in Spanish. Now, I am writing these pronouns not because you need to use them in the contexts that we're going to describe, but simply so that we know of whom we're speaking, okay? So for example, I'm going to write yo, but that doesn't mean that I include it when I'm saying mis libros. I can never say in Spanish, yo mis libros. That does not work. Yo is only so that I know I'm talking about I, my books, okay? Yo, tú, usted, él, ella. Okay. Now, nosotros, vosotros, ustedes, ellos, ellas. All right. So let's talk about hijo, my child, my male child. All right, if it's my child, I have to say mi hijo, right? If it's your child, singular you, and informal, I say tu hijo. If the hijo belongs to usted, you, singular, formal, I say su hijo. If the hijo belongs to him, his child, I say su hijo. If the hijo belongs to her, her child, su hijo. Now, if the child belongs to us, nuestro hijo. Here's where we worry about the gender of the item possessed. If the hijo belongs to you guys, plural, informal, vuestro hijo. If the hijo belongs to you guys, plural, formal, guess what? It's su hijo. Yay. Belongs to them, either masculine group or mixed gender. Hijo, their child. Su hijo. If the hijo belongs to them, those women over there, it is su hijo. Okay, so that's going to give us our singular masculine forms.